Peace, family. Conjure Queen here. Happy 2020. Welcome to the new decade. I have some information that I want to share with you, family. So I'm just waiting for some people to come up in the building. I have some updates that I want to give to you guys, and I want to bring some clarity on a particular situation because I noticed that there's been a lot of confusion regarding dark magic, light magic, understanding the balance between the two, the importance of working with your shadow self, doing the shadow work. And I ain't even gonna lie, yo, during 2020, the way I brought in 2020, I didn't even go out. I didn't go out drinking. Like, I stayed home and I was just meditating. I was meditating and focusing on my intentions. And I was also getting downloads to see if there was any information that I needed to share with the family. So you guys already know that I got mad downloads and I want to share that with you. And I had to process. It took me a whole day to process, hence why I'm doing it the day after New Year's, right? But anyway, how y'all doing today? We are live right now. Peace family, come in the building. I see the Divine Royalty family, the members here. How y'all doing? What's up, Shana? How you say that? Shinigami. What's up, Shinigami? Yes. Yummy Slice. What's up, Jordan Scott? Yes. Stop, my bad. Cat Warren. Yes, yes. Okay, more people come in the building. So listen, make sure that you guys come in and smash that thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to my channel, subscribe, as well as feel free to interact in the live, right? And share this with a friend. So, y'all hear me good? I just finished doing some shopping. Yes. Okay. So we got people coming in the building. Thank you. We do have some moderators in here. So moderators, thank you so much. Please be on your P and Qs, P's and Qs. So yeah. Anyway, like I was saying, more people come in the building. We're live. I'm just waiting for a little bit more people because I hate when people come in and they be like, "What's going on? I missed it," and YouTube only tell people like 5 minutes later. Like, anyway, wow, 222. So it's 200 something people up in here. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up. I think I'm gonna give some people some wrenches up in here. Let me see. Thank you, Straight Panther. Yes. All right. Let's see. How many Earth Swervers in here? Okay, we got some moderators up in here. So moderators, y'all already know what to do. Just let everybody know, all respect. If you are disrespectful in here, you're going to get kicked out. If you come up in here and you're new, don't forget to subscribe. And feel free to interact. What else? Oh, yeah, and thumbs up. So let's get into this. One of the things that I was channeling is that Spirit told me that because I have this public platform, I have to be very careful of the information that I give out, and I also have to take responsibility of what I speak about, because there's such a large amount of people that watch me. And sometimes we don't really think nothing of it, but sometimes I think people take my words and they twist it around. Thank you for the donation, Alagata. Thank you so much. Donations definitely do help. This is regarding the black candle ritual, right? And I'm probably going to do a separate video just on that. But now that we're live, I want to answer some questions that people have been having regarding that specific ritual, because there's so many different people asking different things. Some people saying they didn't see anything, and I just kind of want to get into that. But let me just dive right into it. One of the things that the Guardian Spirit said is that when you're doing the black candle mirror spell, right? The purpose of doing that is to help you to understand who your shadow self is. You're not supposed to stay in your lower self, right? The goal of this is to become your higher self. So the difference between your lower self and your higher self is that your higher self is who you are, who you really want to strive to be, the best of the best, like the best version of you. That's what you are striving for. Your lower self is not what you want to strive for, but your lower self, you must understand and activate that energy, meaning that you have to look at it. A lot of us, we don't know who we really are. And in order to understand who you really are, you have to understand who it is that you're trying to become, and also what aspects of you that you need to tweak, refine, change, or use alchemy in order to turn those base metals into gold. Now, I'm not talking about real metals here, but I'm basically saying that a lot of us, the hardest thing to do is to look at yourself objectively, to look at yourself and really scrutinize what it is about you that that needs to be tweaked, refined, or changed in some way, so that way you can be your best version of yourself. For instance, you may say, you know what, I know I need to be more healthier. You know what, maybe I need to learn more patience. Maybe, I can be a bitch sometimes, or, maybe you might have anger issues and you need to work on that. Maybe you might have an addiction to something and you know that you need to quit that addiction. So sometimes we have to really stop trying to blame everybody else for our failures and take accountability for that. So when I tell you guys to do the black candle mirror spell, it's not to stay in your lower self, because what that is doing is you're literally opening up a portal to allowing your shadow self to come forward. Now, your shadow self is the repressed part of you. These are things that you've forgotten about, things that you kind of swept under the rug in order to put on a mask to function in society. But the reason why your spells and your magic and your focus or your manifestations is not happening like you want them to is because there's something that's happening on a subconscious level that is not allowing you to become the person that you want to be. So in order for you to become that person that you want to be, in order for you to become your higher self, you got to go to your lower self and say, yo, what's going on? I can't ascend if you ain't right. So it's like literally when you're sitting in front of the mirror and you're having that conversation with your shadow self, it's literally you both sitting down, having a conference or having a meeting and saying, look, your higher self, your lower self, and you. It's three of y'all, right? It's you in the middle, your higher self, what you want to be, and then your lower self that can be preventing you from having the dreams and the goals and ambitions that you want. You have to have that sit down when you're in that mirror and you're like, yo, what's going on? Like, what is it that I am suppressing or something that is blocking me on a subconscious level that I'm not able to manifest the dreams and goals that I want? I need to understand what these things are. And so, like I always say, when you're doing shadow work, that means that you are healing yourself, but you also have to go through the mess. You have to go through whatever it is that you've been suppressing. In order to overcome it, you got to go through it. So yes, you may go through the motions. Yes, you may go through some traumas. Some things may come up in your mind and you thought that you forgot about it. Things that you probably pushed all the way in the back of your brain, and it's going to start coming up. So you may be very emotional. Things may become chaotic. But this is kind of like the purging process. And I always tell you guys, it's not an easy process. But if you really want to evolve, if you really want to ascend, you have to do this work. And then another download that I got is this. Remember how they always say that Alegba or Eshu is the guardian of the gateways, right? Ampu, what else? Hecate. You always hear about, Elegba or Eshu being the guardian of the crossroads or the guardian of the gateways. And his colors is what? Red and black. So when you think about the root chakra is your foundation. Your root chakra is your ego. Your root chakra is the lowest chakra. That's your lower self. Now, if your lower chakra is not balanced, if your lower chakra is not open, if your lower chakra, there's something that's going on there, you won't be able to ascend to your higher self, transcend through the crown chakra. And basically the reason why is because you haven't opened up the gateway, your root chakra, Elegwa, in order for you to ascend and grow. You have to deal with your foundations first. You have to talk to your lower self first. You got to understand who she is. A lot of y'all like to sweep the ugly parts of you under the rug, but it's all about accepting who you are 360 degrees all around, full circle. Like, you can't just look at all of the positive parts of you and be like, okay, this is what I want people to know about me. This is what I want to focus on. I don't want to think about my problems. I don't want to think about the past. I don't want to think about my heartbreak. I don't want to think about my money problems. I'm just going to sit here and meditate it all away. That's not what spirituality is about. Spirituality is about doing the work. And you can always look at somebody and you can tell who's doing the work and who's not doing the work. And a lot of people out here is, picking up a phone and talking about how they doing this and they doing that and they recording themselves. And you guys have to be careful with everything that you see. Social media is a beautiful thing because it allows people all over the world to connect And, you know, thanks to social media, I was able to, like, you know, do this platform here and, like, connect with so many beautiful souls that I have met, you know, off of YouTube. You feel me? But we also got to realize that there's some negative things about it too, where, you know, people be saying that they live in one way, but they not really living that way. And it's so easy on social media to be something that you're not. Like, you could be whatever you want to be on social media. Really, you can. If you want somebody to think that you're rich, you can do that on social media. Like, social media is really just for show. Honestly, it's like, it's either you doing business up there or you just showing. Like, what are you doing? But I digress. The reason why I'm making this video though is because I'm noticing that we're going into a new year. We're in a new year now. New decade, the roaring 20s. And this is the year of evolution and change. And for a lot of you who've been not doing the shadow work, you know, you're going to have to deal with it this year. I'm telling you right now. Thank you everybody who's donating. Thank you, Tony Ben, Ashe. Thank you. Yes, we have 300 and some people up in here. Make sure you guys thumbs up as well when you come in the chat room. And shout out to everybody who's in a live right now. Um, so this is the thing. You don't want to stay in your lower self. Once you get acquainted with your lower self, you want to get to know her or him. You want to be like, yo, what is it? Talk to me. Like, what is it that we need to do? What work is it that we need to figure out or heal from? Like, I'm ready to do the work. I'm tired of running. I'm tired of running from my fears. I'm tired of running from whatever it is that is, you know, hindering me. Like, what? I don't care how much it takes. I don't care what I got to sacrifice. I don't care what I got to lose. I don't care how much pain this is going to cost me. I'm willing to do whatever it takes for me to evolve, to grow and be my higher self. Only when you have that resolve where you're just like, yo, I don't care what I got to do. I'm focusing on me. I need to get the hell up out of here. I don't want to come back to this realm anymore. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. That's the only way things are going to change. So that black candle ritual with the mirror is all about connecting to your lower self to get to figure out what the hell's going on. That's what that's all about. It's not about staying in your lower self, because you got to realize a legba or a shoe is a trickster. And the reason why they say that the guardian of the gateways is a trickster is because, like, your lower self is who you are at your lowest point. So this can be, you know, you might be addicted to drugs. You might be, you know, really lusty and having sex with mad people. You might be, you know, having a lot of anger problems and starting fights and stuff. Like, you might, what's another lower self aspect? You might just be really lazy and not doing anything. You probably really mean to people. Like, just think of all the lowest things that you possibly can ever be. That's who you are. Everybody's lower self is different from the next person. You feel me? Some people may go into depression. Some people may just, like, completely isolate themselves. So you want to be careful to find that balance. And I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to tell you guys to go to the dark side, meaning that I want you guys to stop doing healing work, to stop doing elevation work. No, that's not what I'm saying. I want you guys to do the shadow work. I want you guys to go into the dark parts of your soul that a lot of people are afraid to go, because there is where you'll find treasures. There is where you're going to find out what your true talents are. Your lower self or your shadow self is there to also help you. Yes, the guardian of the gateway will trick you to see, you know what? Let me see if you're still going to give into that addiction that you have. You know what? Let me see if you're going to go back to that ex that you said that you was done with. You know what? Let me trick you. Like, that's what the gatekeeper is there for, is to trick you. And it's only when you pass that test are you given the spiritual keys to elevate. You feel me? That's only when you're able to go. Everybody has to face a test. Everybody's going to get tricked or tested. You feel me? Even back in the day in ancient Kemet, you had to have a spiritual teacher. Like, whenever they were studying in the temples, they had a spiritual teacher that was guiding them along the way. And even their spiritual teacher would tell them, like, would try to trick them every now and then. And let me just piggyback on what I just said. You don't have to have a teacher to evolve your spirit. But it helps tremendously when you have somebody who's able to guide you along the path, and even somebody who acts. Matter of fact, that's why I keep telling you how to get the Essential Guide to the Left-Hand Path, because he talks a lot about this. He talks a lot about it in depth, word for word. That's why I tell you guys, I'm only giving y'all bits and pieces of things that I've studied, people that I've studied from. I've studied from some amazing freaking teachers. I've been in different metaphysical and occult schools, and that's why I do different things. I don't subscribe to just one practice, and I always suggest that you also do the same, so that way you know what works for you and what doesn't work for you. You feel me? So that's what I have to say about that. Make sure that you are ascending and trying to become the best version of yourself. So the best version of yourself is however, like let's say if you want to get really fit, imagine yourself like literally like being super healthy, mad freaking like vibrant, surrounded by beautiful people, living in luxury. Or if you don't even want that, you just want to live in nature, doing that, like whatever it means to be you. If you could have everything that you want in the world, that's your higher self. That's you. Your higher self is always evolving. So that's why I always tell you guys to find that balance. Okay? Find that balance, working with dark magic for transformation. It transforms you. Ra, the sun, has to go in the underworld in order for him to be reborn again, renewed, to be Kepara, right? So, just a little something. The ancients been telling us this for a long time. Y'all should get the Kemetic Tree of Life by Ashby. I'm gonna see if I could put that book in the description. But 2020 is the year of change. 2020 is the year of partnerships as well. Leveling up, dealing with that master number 22. You're gonna have to build something. Build yourself, build a business, build a relationship, build a family, build a community, build an organization, build something that you're trying to do. But it's not about destruction, it's about building, creation. So whatever it is that you've been trying to do, now is the time to get up on it. Okay? And yes, these dark deities will assist you and help you in your transformation. I'm not telling you guys to, and I want to also clarify something. Dark and evil magic is not the same. I don't know why people get this thing misconstrued where they think like, okay, if I'm working with dark magic, then that means that I need to start working and doing evil things. Look, I always tell you, do what thou wilt, but also be ready to accept the consequences of your actions. Whenever you tap into magic, you are subconsciously letting off like a signal into the astral realms, letting all of the spirits know that you about that life now. So literally, you gotta realize that once you tap into this, you automatically, it's like an agreement, an unspoken agreement, when it's just kind of like you already know that as a magician, as an alchemist, you are responsible for everything that you do. You feel me? Everything that you think, everything that you say, everything that you do is completely your fault. So whatever happens to you, you did that. You are not responsible for the things that happen to you, but you're responsible for how you respond to those things. You get me? Perfect example. Look, I believe in the power of free will. They said that there's two types of wills. There's free will, and then there's your true will, right? So your true will is your destiny. Some may say that's your astrological chart. Your astrological chart is how you are designed to be, how you are built and designed to be in this world, right? Then there's some people that's like, no, I don't agree to that. I want to transcend my astrological chart and be something completely different. Now look, you have the free will to do that. You have the free will to hurt people. You have the free will to help people. But that's the thing. You have to realize that because you have free will, you have to also take responsibility for whatever consequences come with that choice. Every day we wake up, we make a choice. Every second, every moment is a choice. And remember, when we deal with numerology and 2020, we're dealing with the twos. Twos is always about choices, the balance, right? Do I go left? Do I go right? Do I want to work out? Do I want to sleep all day? Do I want to watch Netflix and binge watch movies and TV shows? Or do I want to finally get to that business plan, that book I've been saying I was going to read, get to those files, get to organizing things? Thank you for the donation, beloved. Simone, thank you so much. Thank you everybody who's donating. If I didn't shout you out, forgive me, please. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just, sometimes I just be in the moment and I can't see the screen when I'm channeling. But that's what I want to tell you guys. Like, this is the year where you're working with that 2 number. So you have to be willing, you have to be ready to accept the consequences of your actions. Everything is a choice. And it's crazy because we really don't understand how much power we have over our decisions in our life. Everything is a decision. For instance, I remember I went on a spiritual retreat and I was the youngest one there. This was a while ago. Man, this was a while ago. But I remember this older woman, she was sitting down talking to me, and she was like, everything in life is a choice. And so she was like, perfect example. If a woman is walking down the aisle and there's a man there and he has a gun to her head and she has to make a choice, either she lets him rape her so she can live, or she takes the bullet. And I'm like, that's not, at the time, I was like, that's not really a choice. So she was like, yes, it is. She was like, she always has a choice. Everybody always has a choice. You can either choose to live and allow that person to rape you, or you can choose to take the bullet. So even though it was a hard decision to make, and this might be an extreme example, but that's the first thing that came up to my mind. In that moment, I realized, I'm like, damn, you know what? We do have choices. Even sometimes the hardest choice is still a choice. Like, a lot of you sometimes say, you know what? I live in a really hectic environment. I still live with my family and they don't allow me to practice what I need to practice. Or, I'm living with somebody and, I feel like I'm stuck. I'm not able to grow like I want to, or whatever. Or I'm in this job and I hate this job and it doesn't allow me to practice my, my dreams, my goals. Like, I feel stuck here. Like, remember, you always have a choice. You can leave that job. You can leave that relationship. You can leave that family. You might have to stay in a shelter for some time, but you have a choice. You might have to sleep on a park bench overnight. Some people have done it. It's a choice. If you ain't got no money and you got to make some sacrifices, you may not eat for a couple of days. It's a choice. And I always tell people, you need to learn how to practice fasting so that way your body won't always feel like it needs food. When you train your body to fast, you can start going days without food and not even be hungry. So it's really important that you understand the sacrifices and the choices you make. The foods that we put in our mouths also is a choice. It's a choice. And every time you make the decision to do better for yourself, you strengthen your power. You strengthen your will. You strengthen your reserve. You strengthen your core. Every time you give into temptation, you weaken your willpower. Not saying that you're not supposed to give into your passions at all. I'm not saying you got to be prudish and, abstain from all pleasures of the world. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's about having that balance. If you know damn well that, you're not where you want to be in your life, then you're going to have to get on it. Nobody's going to change your life for you. Nobody's going to give things to you in this life. I don't know where y'all come from, but I come from a place things ain't going to be given to you. If you want it, you're going to have to work extra hard, because there's some people in life who got a head start. There's some people in life who have families who can give them everything that they want and need. And then there's others who don't have that luxury. There's others who had to work extra hard just to be in the same place where other people were more privileged. And I'm not trying to shit on anybody who was privileged, because we all came into this world with a different hand of cards. But you got to learn how to play your hand right. Everybody has a different hand. You got to know what cards you have, and you got to understand how you're going to work it. You may have a bad hand according to, other people's compared to others, but it's about how you work that hand in life. You got to utilize the tools that you've been given and stop being angry and jealous of the next person, because social media makes it that way. Social media makes you envy other people. Social media makes you feel like, damn, I'm not where I want to be. Everybody else is getting this. Why not me? Like, social media will make you feel that way. So if you start feeling that way, sometimes you need to take a break from social media and focus on yourself. Because like I said, 9 times out of 10, that stuff ain't real anyway. Thank you for the donation. Thank you, Brianna. How are you, my booby? Thank you, April. Ashe. Thank you, the Bella Diablo. Thank you, y'all. I appreciate you guys. But like I said, life is a choice. You have to understand the spiritual gateway is really your root chakra. Your root chakra is a sacred portal. This is why you have to really be careful with who you have sex with. Sex is a very sacred act. Okay? You have sex with the wrong person, that person can literally ruin your life. Ruin it. Like I had a friend, he told me, he was like, yo, he had said his life was on top of the world. He was making lots of money, business was booming, like he was doing the damn thing. Then, he got tempted by a succubus. And, he had sex with her. He was like, yo, after I had sex with her, he's like, yo, the very next day, he was like, mad, bad stuff just started happening to him. He was like, he almost got hit by a car. He was like, he lost his wallet. He was like, somebody in his family got really, really, really sick and was about to die that week. Like, it was just bad stuff back to back to back. And at first, you would think that the girl did something to him, but it wasn't that. What happened was, whatever she had on her, whether her energy was really toxic, whether she had some entities on her that she needed to cleanse, but she transferred that to him. And what that did was it blocked his gateway. It blocked his root chakra. It blocked his energy. So he was disconnected from himself. When we talk about activating your spiritual gateways, you have to understand how to ascend by contacting your lower self. Your lower self is your anchor. Your lower self is your anchor. It's supposed to keep you leveled and grounded. But what happens is sometimes the anchor could be too heavy and you're not able to really fly and soar as you want to. So in those moments where you, let's say for instance, you're trying to manifest something and you know damn well that you're good at manifesting stuff. And it's like this one thing that you're trying to manifest ain't working out. You gotta do process of elimination and be like, yo, okay, you know what's going on? I've done this, I did this, I took baths, I did that, nothing's on me, da da da. I'm living righteously. So what could it be? All right, you know what? It's time to have a meeting. So you sit down, you have a meeting with all your spirits, or you have a meeting with your higher self, your lower self, and you be like, look, we need to figure out what is it going on, higher self. What is it that, what are we trying to strive for? Your higher self will tell you what you're trying to become. Your lower self, what's going on? Why are we blocked right now? Why are you holding me back? What is it that we need to figure out? What is it that we're skipping over? What part did I miss? What lesson do I need to learn before I go to the next level? Because you cannot go to the next level until you learn all of the lessons in the previous one. Life is like a stairway. Each step is a new level. You can't take an elevator. Ain't no elevator in life. And you can't skip steps either because you're going to fall right back down. You cannot do that. There's certain rules and certain principles that you have to respect in this game called life. Life is a game. It really is. And it's either you learn how to play, or you get left behind. So smart people, they learn early how to understand these laws, how to apply them. When you go against these rules and you go against these laws, then that's when you start having problems. You feel me? Some people learn better by experience. Experience is the best teacher, but it's the most bitter. You feel me? 333 likes. Wow. I've been seeing that number everywhere. How y'all doing though? How's y'all new year going? What's up, Cambria? What's up, Taylor Rowe? Yes. And this year is technically, the new year doesn't start until spring. But it's a new year according to the number 2020, right? Because technically we're not even in the year 2020. We're in a whole nother year. I think it's like 5,000 something. I think, I don't know the exact year. If somebody know, drop it down in the comment section or drop it down in the live. But yeah, it's like the year 5,000 something. Really. So yeah, but 2020, we working with that number. It's going to be a massive builder number. Anyway, let's get to these questions. Y'all have any questions about this year or whatever? That black candle ritual is powerful, Don't go into that thing. Don't go into the black candle ritual with expectations. When you do it, like I said, smudge your space because mirrors are portals. Okay, mirrors are portals. I don't like having mirrors in my bedroom. I don't like having a mirror. If you have to have a mirror in your bedroom, the mirror should not be facing your bed. Because it messes with your dreams. You know, like if you're a dreamer, dream walker, it's not good to have mirrors in your room. If you have to have it, then cover it at night. You know what I'm saying? Even your cell phone and your TV screen is a black mirror. You have to like, leave your phone in a whole nother room, or I don't even have a TV in my room. Call me paranoid if you want to, but this was something that was channeled to me, and I just listened. Sometimes you just gotta listen to spirit, and your spirit knows what's best for you. But you gotta know how to eliminate between you have to know how to eliminate between tricksters that's trying to trick you and lie to you, and then like your true spirit. That's why you gotta know yourself. You gotta understand your lower self and your higher self. Before you start working with your ancestors, before you start working with your spirits, you gotta work with you. You gotta know who you are. You gotta venerate yourself before you start venerating your ancestors and these gods, these demons, these entities, these Orisha, these Loa, these, saints and stuff. You gotta know who you are before you start working with the elementals. Now you're talking about elemental magic. Some people are saying 2020 is a 4-year. I mean, technically it is if you add 2 plus 2, but I'm using the master number 22. Everybody to each his own. Like I said, everybody doesn't like working with master numbers. I prefer working with master numbers. Master numbers is hard to work with. It's difficult because it's like the challenges is hard, but the rewards are more. You know what I'm saying? So it's really up to what you're willing to work with. You can use 4 though. 4 is not bad. Crystal says, would you ever consider mentorship? I do actually have a mentorship program thing, my love, on my website. Devin, you said your whole bedroom is a mirrors with swings. Oh Lord, what kind of fun you having up in there? Crazy. Oh, I should have had a glass of wine while I'm doing this. Mm-mm-mm. What about words? I've been seeing February since last year. I don't know. Your root chakra is a really important chakra you want to work with. Your root chakra is the gateway. It's one of the gateways. Every chakra is a portal. It's a gateway into a certain world, a certain dimension. But you got to realize that your foundation is very important. 22 or the number 4 is dealing with foundations. This year is about foundations. So if you haven't been doing that root chakra work, talking to your ego, getting your ego in check, then man, this year is gonna humble the hell out of you. You feel me? Yes, Earth Swerve, ground yourself. Yes. Thank you for the donation. Love, live life. But I have some things coming up. I'm not gonna probably announce it in this video. I'll probably announce it later or something. But anyway, that's pretty much the gist of it. Any other shadow techniques? I would say meditating on the black candle first before you do the mirror with the black candle. So meditating with the black candle by itself, you know what I'm saying, and then you can meditate with the mirror. And you guys don't go into it looking for anything. You feel me? There's other ways to connect to your shadow self. That's just one method, one way of tapping in. Thank you for the donation, Successful JB. You said, Brianna, I'm going to throw my whole check at you. Oh, man. I got to come take a trip and come see you. I'm taking mad trips this year. I need to go to Cali. That's where I want to go. Who's in Cali? Man. Anyway, who's ready for these classes? I'm planning on having some classes this month. So, which one are y'all more interested in? Necromancy or ancestor veneration? Because ancestor veneration and necromancy is similar, but it's not the same. You know what? Probably ancestor veneration, because ancestors, you need to work with that first before you get into necromancy. So I think I'm going to do it that way. I think I'm going to do it where the ancestor workshop is probably going to be the first part, and then necromancy is going to be second. So you know what? Probably I'll do that on the 12th. I'll probably do that on the 12th. What do you guys think? That's too soon? I'm thinking about doing a workshop on the 12th. Very practical, very hands-on. Y'all already know I'm going to give y'all homework to do, resources, books to read, and things of that nature. But anyway, look, just drop your comments in the comment section. Let me know if, the 12th this month is, January 12th, 2020. Let me be specific for whenever people watch this video. I'll probably drop the ancestor veneration workshop. I'm thinking of Sunday. Sunday will probably be the best. Sunday afternoon. We'll do that. And then maybe towards the end of the month, I'll do the necromancy part. Because by then you guys should be getting to know your ancestors and stuff. Or maybe I might space it out. I don't know. I'm going to meditate on this. I'm just throwing it out there. So just look forward to it. I may actually, yeah, I'm going to post a link. Yes, six fruits, 6 minutes of fruit. I'm going to do that. Because I really feel like this year is very important that you have your ancestors on your side. I was watching a clip with, hold on. Dang, I can't even think of her name right now. Can't think of her name. But it was a really, Michelangelo? I don't know why I'm saying Michelangelo. Okay. Where she's like pretty much, oh, every time I walk in with my spirits, like whenever she goes on stage or she got like an interview or something, she tell all her ancestors to come in there with her. She be like, look, I want my uncle here, my great auntie. Come on, y'all. Come on, we got to go. Come on, we got an interview to do. Or come on, we got to get on this stage. So you want to learn how to start, like, going into places with your ancestors beside you. Like, literally talking to them, like, come on, we about to ace this interview. We about to, ace this meeting. We about to get these loans. We about to, whatever you got to do, bring your ancestors in there with you. She said Michelangelo. I cannot think of her name right now. Maya Angelou. There we go. My brain is like all over the place. I've been... Y'all get on my nerves. Shut up. Who clowned me? I said Michelangelo. I'm thinking of Ninja Turtles or thing. Anyway. Slip of the tongue. But yeah, if you want to be members, The link is below. I don't know why some people have been having issues with becoming a member. I don't know what's going on with that. YouTube's been acting really shady and funny. I tried contacting them and they're not responding to me. So I'm like, dang, like what's going on YouTube? I think they're trying to make some changes, but they need to start being on their P's and Q's because I don't know what's going on YouTube. But you guys try to sign up again. Anyway, let me get going. Once I put together the class and the workshop and everything, because I've been working on a lot of things behind the scenes. Y'all know me, I like to move in silence. But some things coming. Some things coming. So just be ready. Be ready. But yeah, if you didn't already, subscribe to my channel. And thumbs up if you haven't. And drop your comments down in the comment section. Let me know how you tap into your inner self, your higher self, and how you utilize your lower self to help you to elevate. How do you balance that dark and light energy? Finding balance is the key, but a lot of people have issues with that. So if you could drop some tips for other people so that they can know how to balance the dark and the light, or balance their subconscious and the conscious mind, then drop that down and help your brothers and sisters. You feel me? Help the Divine Royalty family. Because sharing is caring. But if I didn't answer any of your questions, then drop your questions down in the comment section. Until next time, Conjure Queen signing out. Peace.